welcome to From a Particular Point of View. Hi, I'm Dale. This is a podcast where we dig through the garbage and look at American life and times from a perspective of faith.
You could call me a man of cloth without cloth.
We're on a mission from God.
Politics.
Why should I trade one tyrant 3,000 miles away for 3,000 tyrants 1 mile away? An elected legislature can trample a man's rights as easily as a king can.
Entertainment.
Why are you here? There must be a reason for you to be here.
Yes, I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the American way.
How dare you? How dare you?
Lighten up, Francis.
And nerd.
I'm a nerd. I'm pretty proud of it.
It will test your head and your mind. Brains do.
So sit back, literally or figuratively, and enjoy American life and times from a particular point of view.
106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Hello everyone, once again welcome to From a Particular Point of View. I'm Dale. For questions, comments, concerns, I kind of turn this thing down. Email me at watercoolercomments@hotmail.com or watercoolercomments@gmail.com. Well, Happy New Year. Well, not quite yet, but it will be soon, within a few days. Yeah, Latin songs. Auld Lang Syne. I have no idea what that means. I guess it's Happy New Year. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But it's one of those songs that we always play. And growing up, it's like, why? I mean, it's got that sound, I guess, of the past is in the past. Let's look forward to the future. I mean, that's the only thing you ever hear. I mean, there's tons of Christmas songs, but how many New Year's Eve songs do you hear? Just one. And that's usually when everybody's drinking and having a good time and getting toasted and toasting. And yeah, anyway, once again, I am Dale. This is From a Particular Point of View. Again, for comments, questions, concerns, ideas, whatever, watercoolercomments@hotmail.com or watercoolercomments@gmail.com. Well, this year, or this week, I didn't spend a lot of time at work because of the holidays was, and unfortunately, because that's usually when I get a lot of my news is when I'm at work. I listen to certain news podcasts or radio news shows or whatever. And this week, unfortunately, everyone I usually listen to is having the week off for the holidays, so I didn't really get to hear a lot of the news. So forgive me for that. I can't really do a lot of news bits as I usually do. I know that they're still finding huge amounts of fraud in Minnesota, primarily, as I understand it, from Somali immigrants who may or may not be here legally. And it just blew in my mind how the leadership in Minnesota, the elected officials, are defending these Somali peoples who may or may not be here legally. There's one woman, I don't know who she is, but I saw a video of her, I think it was on Twitter, whatever, dressed in full Muslim garb and saying something like, well, Muslims built Minnesota. Muslims made Minnesota what it is today. I'm thinking, no, they didn't. Muslims had nothing to do with building our country. We might have had a few inspirational ideas from people who have the Muslim faith, but as the Marine song goes, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, those were battles where the United States Marine Corps was fighting Islam, because, as I understand it, Islam has one goal, and that's world domination. There's no let's negotiate. There's no let's live together. There's no well, maybe we can just coexist, tolerate. No, to them, it's either you're Muslim or you're not. And if you even if you convert to Muslim, if you're not Middle Eastern, you pay a tax for the rest of your life. Of course, if you don't choose to convert to Islam, then you are in terrible, terrible pain. And one way they help you with that terrible, terrible pain is to just kill you. Because if you're dead, you don't feel any pain. That's how I was gathered. That's how I got it from a reliable source, I guess. So, and I haven't heard anything to the contrary, to where Islam, their choice, their end game for Islam is just world domination. And that's when one of their prophets comes back and the whole world bows to whoever. I don't know. Anyway, so Minnesota just Minnesota, Wisconsin, it's terrible. I blame Obama, but that's just me. Anyway, I guess they're still trying to do with drug boats. And not only the drug boats, but also the tankers. Apparently, again, they're selling oil in the black market, which you can't legally do that. And also they're selling oil because I guess there is a deal made somewhere that says that, okay, Venezuela, you can sell oil, but only to certain people. So you just can't go willy-nilly and sell oil to whoever you wish. You can't go to terrorists or criminals or whatever and say, hey, I have a tanker here of oil. How much money you want for it? Blah, blah, blah. So they are holding boats. They're keeping the boats, keeping the oil. And, if it's illegal, I don't know the details of this. I just know what I hear on the news. And I guess, again, Venezuela is trying to make money by not selling oil by legal means. Anyway, so they're still having issues with that. And what gets me is Democrats are still defending the drug boats. They're defending Venezuela and their oil. They're just, how, as an American citizen, how as a Democrat can you actually defend the drugs that kill people, the drugs that kill thousands, maybe even millions of people every year? Like fentanyl and cocaine and all that. How can you defend people transporting drugs over here to kill people? I don't get it. I really don't. To me, when you're out in the open ocean, if you're out in clearly open ocean, international waters, and if you know, and I'm sure that the government knows this, you can't tell me that with our intelligence, that if a Coast Guard helicopter or Marines or whatever, Navy, sees a boat that looks like that with barrels on it, with packages on it, with no indication whatsoever of fishing gear, speeding at like 80, 90 miles an hour in the open ocean, heading to the United States. They already know anyway. I'm pretty sure that the United States government, through their intelligence, they know where it came from, what's on it. They just need to capture it, and that's easy for them. So there is no due process. There is none. Granted, it's not war, but so I guess the idea of the Democrats would be for their due process to take place, would be to capture this boat and take the people who are transporting drugs illegally, take them to court so they can get a high-priced super liberal lawyer and a high-priced super liberal judge to go, well, we can't prove. Oh, wait, they had a fishing pole in their boat. Yes, they were fishing. You can't do that to them. They have rights. No, they don't. But anyway, they have rights. Okay, you're free. All charges dropped. I can see them quite easily doing that. And then they 6 months later, they go and do it again. And only this time, the drug of, they pass a law, some liberal nut job judge passes a law, even though he can't do that says, okay, all these boats are free to come and do commerce in the United States, no matter what they're loaded with. It's their right as anyway, you get the idea. So it just blows my mind that Democrats will actually think that way. Anyway, so I looked up for the new year. Oh, by the way, Merry Christmas. Hope Santa Claus was good to you. I didn't hear a whole lot of complaining from liberals because it's Christmas. I mean, after all, liberals have like 11 months of gay pride, transition pride, black pride, Asian pride, Mexican pride, whatever. But yet, your typical white Christian gets 1 month and they freak out about it. I mean, you can't place the Ten Commandments in front of a courthouse. You can't, in some cases, you can't place a nativity scene in front of a courthouse or a school because they'll complain about it, but then they can trance around in drag inside the building itself. So, yeah, I don't know. It's ridiculous, putting it nicely. Anyway, so, again, Merry Christmas to all who, I don't even care if you don't support Merry Christmas, don't celebrate it. Merry Christmas to you anyway. Doesn't matter. So, I hope you had a lot to eat. Some nice gifts. I did on both occasions. So with all that, it's starting to measure or move into the New Year's Eve thing, and this will be the last podcast for, I don't know, a while, at least definitely for the year. And I'm going to be taking a break from this thing, not only to organize things, but also to come up with new material for the next year, because every season I have a new intro, and I do all the work myself. I do all the production work myself for the intros, for everything. So I got to piece together, and if I don't use the right music, I still use YouTube every now and again to post my stuff on there and some other places. And if I don't use the right music, I get yelled at for copyright infractions. So, because I had Stranglehold on there on the first 2 or 3 seasons, I think. And I'm pretty sure if I asked Ted Nugent, because I've met him once, he's a nice guy, very nice guy. And I'm pretty sure if I asked him once, he'd probably let me use it, but I haven't been able to get a hold of him. So, oh well. So I use another form of non-ownership music, whatever you call it. And I'll probably find something different to do the intro in. So, anyway, so not only give myself a break from this, but also to prepare for the next season. It'll be season 5. I'll be doing this for 5 years. And again, if you don't really know, I'm not doing this necessarily to gain viewership for either the video or the podcast. I'm doing this pretty much, it's like a tie between a video audio journal and just to spread my idea of what's going on in the world. I mean, whether you agree with me or whether you don't doesn't really matter. Just that, just to say what I think, what I feel, what I wish. And if you want to comment to me about anything I've said, like I said, watercoolercomments@gmail.com or watercoolercomments@hotmail.com. So I just do this, half and half for just me because I enjoy doing this. And it's kind of venting myself, because I know when I start talking about politics and whatnot around here, my wife starts to roll her eyes and go, oh, here we go again. And I do talk about it sometimes, considering I live in Oregon. Oregon's a very left-leaning, very blue state, and it's anybody who is conservative or right-leaning, it's just painful to live here. I don't recommend moving here. If you are conservative, if you are right-leaning, if you're a Republican, if you have the choice not to move here, don't do it. At least not until they get some Republicans in power, which I think hell will freeze over before Republican comes into power. Anyway, so New Year's is coming up, and because I'm not going to be here on New Year's Day to celebrate, Happy New Year, and I wish the best for you and yours for the next coming year. I looked on the internet to see the different, best ofs for the year. Come to find out that I guess Time Magazine has picked the person of the year. Only it's not a person, it's a group of people. So Time's People of the Year is the Architects of AI. This includes Mark Zuckerberg of Meta, of course, Lisa Su of Advanced Micro Devices, Elon Musk, of course, of XAI, Jensen Huang of Nineveh, Sam Altman of OpenAI, Dennis Hassabis of DeepMind Technologies, Dario Armedio of Anthropic, or whatever, and Fifi Lee I think that's Phi or Phi. Anyway, Lee. That's Stanford's Human-Centered AI Institute, World Labs. So, yes. So that's that. And also I had on here, let's see what happened. Let's see if I can find it. I have tabs open, so I'm trying to find these tabs. Okay, the year, I think this is it. Yes. So, with these, I have to go through these because some of these I don't really care about. Some of the news articles, and it's on Britannica, and it goes month by month, and it goes every month what happened that's significant last year. Of course, last January 7th, we had the wildfires in Los Angeles that caught a lot of eye, and amazingly enough, as I understand, many of the houses over there still are not built. They're still piles of rubble, piles of ash, charred wood. It's ridiculous. January 20, of course, Donald Trump is elected president. He's inaugurated as the 47th president. He's the second president to serve two non-consecutive terms, and the oldest president to win the office at the age of 78. And that's the difference between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Is I believe Joe Biden's a little bit older, but boy does he look it. He looks every bit of his years. Donald Trump is still going out there, still getting things done, still playing golf, making deals, making treaties. It's just amazing. It really is amazing. We get some more. Yeah, again, there's some more stuff on here that I don't really know what this is. It's news to somebody. That's why I've always told you, those who listen to the podcast and the video, is that when I bring out the news, it's not all the news, and it's not all the news, and it's pretty much the news that I think is important. As the editor of this podcast, I can keep out the news that I think is stupid news or dumb or whatever, and it's only the news that interests me or that affects me or that I think is interesting. It's like one here, allegedly on January 29th, the animated film Ni Zai 2 is released in China and becomes the highest grossing movie of the year. I've never even heard, do they make movies in China? You get the idea. I have no clue. Here's another one that's kind of a stupid one, at least to me it is. Beyonce wins 3 Grammys on February 2nd. It's like, I don't care about Beyonce. I really don't. I'm sure she's a talented artist, but I don't really care. February 9th is Eagles and play the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. The Eagles defeat the Chiefs. So, Super Bowl. In March, again, I'm looking on here, and it has some stuff on here, but nothing that's really interesting, I guess. March 14th, Mark Carney of the Liberal Party is sworn in as Prime Minister of Canada. He previously was the first non-British person to head the Bank of England. Okay, whatever. March 15th, the United States deports Kilmar Abreu Garcia, a Salvadoran immigrant, illegal immigrant. They don't say this on here, but again, this is from Britannica, so they're probably a little bit liberal. A Salvadoran immigrant who entered the country without authorization. He was illegal. Again, they can't really say it, so... Anyway, he's been back and forth. His wrongful deportation sparks a legal battle, which is still going on, and eventually brought back to the United States. Yes, it's ridiculous. Let's see. Talk about the space station. They're still doing that. I think they're also talking about. The Starliner. I think that's Elon Musk's thing. Anyway. Again, there's more stuff. Now, this here, I'm guessing is more, I didn't really think about when I put this in. I just put their top stories of 2025, not American stories. Because, again, this one here is the president of Namibia is the first woman to hold a presidency. She wins March 26th. Like, okay, I don't care. A magnitude 7.7 earthquake strikes Burma. Okay, whatever. Pope Francis dies at the age of 88 on April 21st. So, okay. And this last year, I believe I got married April 22nd, 21st. Yeah, it was in April anyway. So, again, I'm going through this. This is right now. So right now I'm in May, and Robert Francis Prevost is elected Pope to take the place. He becomes Pope Leo the 17th, I think, 14th. I think that's the 14th. The first American Pope in the history of the Roman Catholic Church. I guess I'm not Catholic, so I don't care. And to me, the papacy is the papacy is a form of satanic to me, because it's. I guess they say that that the Pope is the connection. Excuse me. The connection from man to God. If that's the case, what's Jesus for? Jesus is the connection, the Pope isn't. So to me, the papacy is Satan's way of taking Jesus out of the picture. Wow. That's a heck of a frog. Sorry about that. So we continue on. There's a June 14th. Okay, now we're in June. And of course they had that the No Kings protest, which was ridiculous. Which is kind of funny because they don't mention that that June 14th is also Flag Day, and June 14th is also Donald Trump's birthday. But they don't mention that. They just mention the demonstrations against Trump, known as the No Kings protest, held across the United States and other countries, because there are morons over there, and rallies with, it says here, almost 7 million attendees. Well, I don't know about that. Of course, they're talking worldwide, so anyway, they're talking some more. Oh, they're talking about the Iran-Israeli conflict. What else? See, July. It's the U.S. Agency for Internal Development, USAID. That was founded, so they that's when they come down and decide to mess with, to look into that, which we know how that went. That's when they found massive amounts of fraud in USAID. They found millions of dollars going to groups overseas that, because I think they even they said they had a class in like Afghanistan for gay and transgender people, which doesn't exist. Over there, because they're mostly Muslim, if you get caught being gay or transgender, they kill you. Boom, just like that. No questions asked, no jury, no nothing, which is, what else we got here? Now, it's not that I like to say this. I really don't. I really don't give a snot, but it has here Taylor Swift and Travis got engaged. Okay, yeah, whatever. My computer's freezing up. Okay, let's try this again. I had to refresh it. So, yeah, usually I don't really care that much about Taylor Swift. I really don't, but it did catch some attention. So, August 11th, Donald Trump orders the deployment of National Guard to D.C. That created a stir, and that was going. That was definitely created some news. And let's see, my computer's again trying to freeze up somewhat. In September, lethal strikes on civilian posts in Venezuela, I guess. I don't know. Again, some of this stuff, I don't follow the news that closely when it comes to that kind of stuff. So it's like they may have, I don't know, but if it doesn't hit the national news or if I don't pick up on it, then okay, whatever. Here is one that really hit hard to many people, including me. September 10th, conservative activist Charlie Kirk is fatally shot while speaking at an outdoor event in Utah Valley University. So, and he was shot and again fatally killed just I think a day or two later, and that just sent an immense wave. It's like it was a disturbance in the force, and you can just see the wave of of love and Christianity, and just it's really amazing. And I guess I also saw I think it was on Newsmax, is that Charlie Kirk is the number one Google search ever. I mean, on for this last year, everyone looked up Charlie Kirk. Because I was watching some, I mentioned this before, I was looking at some YouTube, some Twitter videos, and some people went up there and said, yeah, before Charlie Kirk was shot, I was a hardcore leftist. I thought Charlie Kirk was a blankety blank, and he was a racist and homophobe and a bigot and blah 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 and blankety blank, and I hated him and blankety blank. That's what I was told. They said that's what I was told to believe by the news media and by other liberals. But then they said they looked up Charlie Kirk on Google, YouTube, whatever, and they started watching some of his videos. And many people the videos that I saw, many of them said, hey, he's not that bad. He is loving. He is caring. He does care about us. He's not near the monster that the liberals and the news makes him out to be, or the Democrats make him out to be. So they, I guess a lot of people, I saw stories or videos. A lot of people not only went to convert to Christianity, but a lot of people even switched over to Republican because of Charlie Kirk, which is great. So, Charlie Kirk on September 23rd was a brief suspension of the late night show with Jimmy Kimmel. But then again, we know he comes back and he's celebrating that. I think I saw a banner that said that when he came back, he claimed, "We won, President Trump lost." It's like, whatever. And I don't even know why they brought him in. Well, I do, because it's NBC, whatever, and they bow down to the liberal cause. So, of course. What else we got here? I'm in October 10th. They're still trying to deal with the ceasefires with the Hamas-Israeli war. I'm surprised that they've had it going on as long as they have. It's amazing to me. On October 20th, what really hit the news was Trump's White House renovations with the East Wing. I keep on hearing people on X, Twitter, whatever, saying, "Look, he's using our money to destroy the White House." All of that money is private, either his or donors. None of it's government money. But of course, if the liberal news media tells you one thing, you're going to believe it, of course, because you people are morons who do that. So I'm still looking now. I'm in November. They had that Egyptian museum heist, which they're still looking for the people, which is amazing. I couldn't believe that. They're still looking for them. The last penny is minted in the United States on November 12th, the very last penny. So as I understand now, companies are trying to buy the pennies. I don't know why, but I guess they have their reasons. The longest government shutdown on November 12th in history, which we also found out that we didn't need a lot of the things that the government was shut down because they were so afraid of, oh my God, we're all going to crash. The government's going to go under. We're all going to crash. The government shut down and nothing. I didn't see anything really happening. They didn't have any. They didn't come out with any government reports. But does that really affect me right now? No, not really. So I really didn't see a big problem with the government shutting down as long as they did. So it's really no big deal to me. The Epstein files came out. I guess Senate signs legislation ordering the Epstein files on November 20th. What gets me is I'm already hearing all these liberals and Democrats screaming about, opening up the Epstein files and let's show that Donald Trump was on there. Well, why couldn't they do that when Biden was president? Because at one particular time, as I understand it, we had a Republican House, a Democrat Senate, and a Democrat president. Where was the push to get the Epstein files out then? Where was the push? I mean, they wanted to throw everything else at him. They tried to throw everything at him, even lies to Donald Trump to get him to, I don't know, maybe they wanted to wait until he became president to make it much more dramatic. Because I know I saw a moron on X last night. I don't remember who it was. It doesn't really matter. But their deepest desire is to have Trump arrested for, I guess, one of the many crimes he's done, put handcuffs on him in the White House, and drag him out kicking and screaming, put him in a paddy wagon, and hauled him directly to prison. No pass go, no clue, no collect $200. You get the idea. That was their deepest, darkest, gleefully secret, and of course it is, because these people are morons. Anyway, so let's see. December, again, there's really nothing nothing really that was mind blowing to me in the last part of this year. However, when it comes to all that stuff, let's see. Oh, I know where it is now. It is the list of. Now, one thing I found out is that, as you know, a lot of celebrities died last year. A lot of them. And so I went on a website, I forget which one it was, to see, okay, hey, let's see, because, you know, how many celebrities died over 2025. And I was surprised at not only how many people had died, celebrities, but I was also surprised what that website considered celebrities, because I start scrolling down the faces, and it's like for the first 10, 15, 20 people, it's like, who are these people? And a lot of them were like the sister of the brother of the cousin of some internet star, or the brother of the cousin of the husband of some distant relative of a internet influencer, or this person was the basis for a band that disbanded years ago, but still. They even had, if you've seen Happy Gilmore, there's an alligator in there, apparently a real one, and they had him in there, the alligator. It's like, are you kidding me? An actually alligator for he died this year, and they're, celebrity. It's like, oh, for Pete's sake. So what I did is, it took me some time, but I went through, because it was a long list. And again, a lot of them were people who I had no clue who they were, never heard of them before. Of course, after the picture, it shows a description of what they're known for, what their celebrity status is for, either music, movies, TV, internet, whatever. And most of them, I had never even heard of before. Even the TV shows and movies they mention, I'd never heard of before. Some of them, it's like, hey, I think I remember you. I think I remember, but anyway. So here's the list I picked out of the people who died last year, celebrities. So the first one was Gil Gerard. And if you don't know who that is the guy who played Buck Rogers in Buck Rogers in the 80s, the TV show. Of course, Rob Reiner died. Rob Reiner is a scumbag extraordinaire, a liberal nut job who hates everybody. If you are a right-leaning person, conservative, whatever, he hates you. He can't stand you. And he died, and kudos. That's in my personal opinion. That's good. That's good for the world because he was a real piece of work, putting it nicely. Dick Cheney died last year, which again I really wasn't too fond of him. He was a rhino. If you're not familiar with the term rhino, it's Republican in name only. He had an R by his name, but he almost never voted Republican. So, Ace Frehley passed away. Of course, everybody knows Ace Frehley is the guitarist for Kiss. I was never a huge Kiss fan, but I did like a lot of their stuff, and they did make their mark on the entertainment of America. Everybody knew who Kiss was. Everybody did. So it was sad. Diane Keaton died, and actress. She's been in some stuff right now. I don't remember how much stuff she's been in, but I saw the pictures. Oh yeah, I remember her. So Jane Goodall passed away this year. If you don't know who that is, she's I guess most well known for her research work in gorillas. I think the movie Gorillas in the Mist, she was in that or something like that. But she's really well known for her extensive work with primates, gorillas, whatever. So there's Robert Redford passed away, and he's been in a lot of movies. He's been a Hollywood star for eons. Charlie Kirk, of course, passed away at that time, and everybody that hit the country like the world like a storm. So either you hated him and you applauded it in a really grotesque, evil way, or you were very sorrowful and you did something to, either you went to a candlelight vigil, you prayed about it, you bought things from his website, whatever. I know I bought at least one T-shirt from his website. And I went to a local candlelight vigil, which a lot of people showed up because I live in a kind of small town. And for that many people to show up for a Charlie Kirk thing, it's like, hey, holy cow, wow. So anyway, Graham Greene passed away. And if you don't know who that is, if you've ever seen the movie Dances with Wolves, well, he's like the medicine man in Dances with Wolves. He's the guy that was close to John Dunbar in the movie. He also played a witch doctor, medicine man, whatever, in Northern Exposure. He's been in movies a lot. And I was sad to see him go because I enjoyed his work. Laurie Anderson passed away, which, of course, she was a sex bombshell back in the, I think, 70s and 70s and 80s, I think. She played one of the, because they're on WKRP in Cincinnati, the sitcom, there was two women who played on the cast that I can recall, commonly played, and both beautiful, and Lonnie was the blonde, and other things. I think she's a model and some other things. Of course, also we have Hulk Hogan, and everybody, that's the wrestler, later turned Christian. And it's, it was sad to see him go. I don't know. I know it showed on here. It told, I think, on all these what they passed away from. And it's like, well, whatever. I think a lot of it cancer or something, but cancer is going crazy. Of course, when I heard this, I was like, oh my God, really? Part of it was like freaking out. The other part was, well, yeah, I can see that was Ozzy Osbourne when he passed. Because he's been known throughout his whole life of just being a rock star, traveler, world traveler, singer, on all kind, every kind of drug the man has ever invented. So as I understand it, for years his doctors had him on the wrong stuff, and he couldn't even complete a thought, a word, or anything. Then he got a new doctor, and they got him on new drugs, and then it cleared up. He actually started talking almost decently. So anyway, Malcolm Jamal Warner, and if you don't know who that is, that was the only son on the Bill Cosby Show, the Huxtable family. He was the only son, and I don't think he was the oldest child, but he was the oldest son. And it was kind of sad because I enjoyed his work. Connie Francis passed away last year, and of course everybody knows Connie Francis is her music. She was a singer in the early country days, and I think I Fall to Pieces is one of her songs and some other stuff. Julian McMahon passed away. In case you don't, he was an actor. He played, I think, Nip and Tuck, a drama doctor series. In the early 2000s, he played a demon in the Witch TV show Charmed. He played a good bad guy. So I liked his work. Rick Hurst passed away last year. This year, Rick Hurst, if you don't know who that is, he was Cletus in the sitcom Dukes of Hazzard. He was the sheriff Cletus. Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys had passed away. Sly Stone, a 70s musician, funk, I think, he passed. Valerie Mahaffey, I think that's her name. She wasn't in a lot of stuff, but I like the TV show Northern Exposure, and in the Northern Exposure, she played Adam's wife. Adam was the eccentric, weird, troubled guy who was a genius at food. He was a chef, putting it nicely. He was really good, and that was his wife. Who they had an interesting relationship to where they hated to love each other and loved to hate each other. When they loved passionately, but it seemed like they were always arguing. Also, this year was Phil Robertson of Duck Dynasty passed away. George Wendt, Norm on Cheers, the guy who walks into the bar, Norm. Everybody knows who that is. He passed. Ruth Buzzy, I didn't know she was still alive, but she was on a lot of the comedy shows in the 70s, late 60s, early 70s. Of course, Pope Francis. He passed away, of course, as we all described in the news. And then finally, Wink Martindale, what I have on my list. Well, actually, there's a few more. Wink Martindale, game show host from back in the 70s. So if you're a Gen X kid, if you were sick, if you were on your couch watching game shows, he's probably one of the guys who hosted a show you watched. Val Kilmer. Of course, we all know Val Kilmer from I think Batman. He played Doc Holliday in Tombstone with Wyatt Earp. He also played Iceman in Top Gun. He's a good actor, and I guess I actually saw in the theater the last Top Gun movie. We actually had him on there, and he had throat cancer, and so he struggled to get through that. And I think he did a great job. George Foreman, the George Foreman Grill. He was also one who died this year. Gene Hackman, he's done a lot of stuff. He's been acting for 1 billion years. Finally, Roberta Flack. And Roberta Flack is a musician, singer. I think I have some of her stuff on my computer, but yeah, Roberta Flack. And now there's a lot more people on this list. But again, most of them, I don't know who they were. And it actually, under the picture, it says a description, it gives a paragraph of what they died of. If they may or may not have put under what they died of, but also they say, what they did, what their significance is in the industry, whether it's music, internet, radio, movies, TV, whatever. And it gives a brief description of why they're famous. And I guess famous is a matter of opinion, because some of those people on there, again, I was going like, who? I have no idea who these people are. And the funny thing is, like, that they write these articles as if, oh, this person, he's done this, this, and this. See, yeah, we know him. But it's like, I read some of these like, who? What? I think one of them, like I said before, one of them is like, this person's the second cousin, the third wife, or third relationship once removed on your mother's brother's cousin's roommate side, and that's who this person is. It's like, that makes him famous. So you get the idea. It's really interesting, putting it nicely. Oh, indeed. Oh, geez. So anyway, this last year was a really interesting year. I didn't have a lot of changes in my life except for getting married and going on a cruise, which is really awesome. But I mean, other than your other things, nothing, I did move from the duplex that I was living at before into my wife's house. So I did move studio, and I am still working on getting it organized because things just because life gets in the way. And that's one reason why there are times where I haven't been able to do this. I have not done a podcast every week this whole year because sometimes life gets in the way. Just like I also run once a week, or I try to run 3 miles, 5K. And sometimes things happen, life gets in the way. We have plans, and so it doesn't always work out that way. So anyway, I hope your year was just as good. Not too much trouble. I know I was employed by 2 companies the whole year, which was nice. Some of the times I got a little busy, sometimes not so much, but still, being employed, having a wonderful family, a vehicle that works, a roof over your head, having a pet family. I've been thoroughly blessed this year. I hope you have been too. I have a church family that is wonderful. As a matter of fact, on Christmas Day, we have some people from church over here to share our meal and to share thoughts and do some praying and whatnot. And that's always a wonderful thing. So my friend, let's see, I know what I have to do now. Yes, of course, I have to do some other things. Again, this is, like I said, this is no way professional how I do things around here. So, yeah, this is not professional whatsoever. But I enjoy doing it. I hope you like listening to it. I didn't do any quotes this time, maybe next time, but I have some more quotes I need to put in. I haven't wrote it down yet, but I will. But in closing, my friends, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. That's from Numbers 6:24 and 26. And finally, may the grace of the Lord Jesus, the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all. That's 2 Corinthians 13:14. So, my friends, thanks for listening to me all these last few years, and stay tuned for next year, which will be, I don't know, February, March, sometime in there. I'll maybe come back because I have to, get get things taken care of and redo new production, because I don't want to use this season's intro for the new one. So I have to find new data pieces, new voice, audio bites and whatnot, and put them together in the right way, and do new intro. And like I said, for this whole production is just me, and I don't get paid for it. It's all me. Nobody, there's nobody sponsoring me right now. I mean, if you want to, that's great. If you want to sponsor me, sure. Well, once again, my address for this podcast is watercoolercomments@gmail.com or watercoolercomments@hotmail.com. So until next time, my friends, which is later on, maybe a few weeks, I'm hoping you had a wonderful Christmas, and please have a wonderful New Year. So this is Dale. This has been From a Particular Point of View. And so until next time, God bless and have a great day. See you. Bye.